Her name is Layla. I'm the villain.
Right.
I'm mean. I'm mean. I'm fierce. I'm dangerous.
Are you enjoying being mean?
Yes, I am. Yes, of course. You know, it's always fun to do characters with many layers. But I really wanted to find what her passion was, you know. And I had a lot of conversations with David that she's in pain, she's suffering. So it's kind of like a terror balance inside of her.
What drives her to be bad?
Well, she wants to create a better world. She wants to bring back the Dark Lord, and she's serving the Dark Lord. And in the past, the Dark Lord created a beautiful world, but for a few selected, and she wants to bring back that world order. Well, it was very important for me to find what her passion was, to find the warmth and the love in her as well. And everything matters for her, you know, everything. She's dead serious. She's very religious. She believes in something so strong, and she's ready to do whatever it takes to get there. But also I had a lot of conversations with David to find her pain, and he came to many times and said, like, she's suffering, feel the pain on me. So it was really interesting. I did a lot of physical training. I did my own stunts. I was fighting with knives, with guns, in high heels, in a skin-tight suit. So it was kind of hardcore. Well, I'm very physical. I want to show that women can fight, we're strong, you know what I mean? But that's why it's important for me to do it myself, to not bring in like an amazing stunt person that just do everything. So, and Layla she has a lot of dimension, she's very layered, she's very complicated.
Noomi, can you talk about, this is obviously a fantasy story, but it feels so pertinent, so relevant to our world. Can you talk about that aspect of the storytelling?
Well, I think that's what I always love with David Ayer's films, you know, ever since I saw Harsh Times and End of Watch and Training Day. They're very real. You feel it's so authentic. You can almost taste it and smell it. And he brought magic together with that, which makes it for me very fresh and very unique. It doesn't look like anything I've ever seen.
And it's very diverse as well, isn't it? Yeah, I think racism is covered in this. Is a big
yeah. There has a lot of, you know, I think it's a movie you can watch over and over, and you will discover new things every time.
I play Will's wife in the film, and
cool, just answer the question completely.
I keep saying it over and over again, but it was an incredible experience, and I learned so much, and Will is such a giving actor to work with, and like not even learning about the act of the craft of acting, but just as a human being, the things that he can teach you. It's just like, I'm just like, oh, tell me more, talk about more, how do you feel, what do you look at? And David is the most phenomenal director I've ever worked with. The things that he does with actors it's so conscious and so premeditated, and it just floors you. You know, I'm in there doing my own work, and then he just comes in the rooms in your mind, and he's like, hey, what's up? I'm doing stuff. I'm like, you can't be in here. This is my room. How'd you get in here? He just knows what to do. So both were, sorry, I'm like trying to hear myself talk and like outside. But incredible experience.
We've seen a lot of fantasy stories before. What is unique, you think, about this story?
The uniqueness of this story is, well, it actively parallels the current issues that humanity is experiencing about class division and walls, right? And I think what's beautiful about this film is it shows factions of different people, the haves, the have-nots, the people in the middle, and how they're relating to each other, and also the walls that they're building to keep each other from their dreams, from love, from themselves. And it's for humanity at this moment in time, I think it's what we need to learn to be able to move into the next realm of evolution. Not lightly put.
I guess a combination of like the people involved, from like the cast to like directors, producers, and the scene itself is just so like it's just such a pivotal kind of moment, and to be sort of offered that that scene in particular was just you'd be ridiculous to turn it down, and it's such a great it's just such a great opportunity to do something that we've never done before, but have always wanted to do, and never thought we had the chance, and never on this scale either. It's it's pretty incredible.
So we were in the scene, we watched the film, wrote the song, and and it didn't quite fit into the scene, so we made a different version, which was really fun. We recorded a huge string arrangement with an orchestra, and basically there's a version for the movie and a version for the soundtrack, and that was, you know, that was brilliant. I'm massively obsessed with films and film soundtracks, so getting to have a little insight into that world, work with David and the producers to, you know, to make it fit and make it as good as it could be, was just a lot of fun. We've had such a good time doing it.
Obviously, David's a fantastic director with an amazing reputation. You talk about what that experience was like and how closely you were collaborating.
Well, I mean, we had quite a lot of phone calls trying to get the track right, trying to get it to fit, which was great for me as a fan of his work. You know, it was awesome getting to chat to him, getting to work with him. When we shot the music video in LA,
playing the evil elf Layla in the film. Please welcome to London South.
When we shot the video
a
few months ago, he actually came down on the day and directed a few of the scenes for a couple of hours, which was, I mean, I'm the worst actor you could ever imagine. So getting directed by a Hollywood director was a little bit intimidating, but he was brilliant, and he was, you know, he made it very easy, I hope. But yeah, the whole thing's been super surreal. You know, getting to come to stuff like this is not normal for us. So yeah.
Talk a little bit about overall what it was like to make that video, because it's such an amazing production.
Well, basically, Dan got blown up, so it was basically like being on the set of a film. It was totally surreal. The budget was so much bigger than anything we've ever had for any of our videos. They shut off a whole street in Downton Abbey. There was a horse. There were explosions. You know, there were loads of extras. There was an upturned police car. There was fire. It was like walking into a film set, and it was totally like surreal and a proper dream. So it was really fun. I got to be all bloodied up. They sort of said, "Right, you've got to act like a hard man." And I was like, "I mean, look at me. I'm not." So it was a bit of a stretch, but it was really fun. It's really surreal.
Looking forward to 2018. What's on the horizon for next year and beyond?
Wow, so new music, mixtapes, third album, where we're doing loads of touring. We've just done, we just really announced a tour that is kind of like a bunch of our songs reimagined with like sort of strings and brass and choir, but sort of like basically that's what it's called, reorchestrated. And we are touring around like these really beautiful venues that we really don't deserve to be playing in as a sort of loud band. These really beautiful kind of like little small theatres and stuff like that, and we're taking that around the UK and a bit of Europe, and yeah, it's gonna be busy, but yeah, all great stuff and loads of new music, loads.
I trusted the team, David and the team. Chris, who did my makeup, he basically went on to win an Oscar just after we finished working together. Like, so they know what they're doing. The input for me was really about how much I could express through it, what I needed in terms of my own comfortability. Yeah. Yeah, it was incredibly subtle, and I was able to articulate through it much better than I thought. Yeah.
Joel, can you talk a little bit about the amazing chemistry with Will and the real-world symbolism of this very powerful story?
But I love all that.
Yeah, I mean, the real simple message of this movie really is about how we treat each other as humans, how we prejudge each other and how we shouldn't prejudge each other.
Yeah, but also, you know, I was
and the way we're doing it is through this sort of weird buddy cop fantasy movie, and he and I spent a lot of time together, and a lot of the film really exists on the chemistry between the two of us, which felt kind of easy, actually. I mean, he's a very easy guy to like,
but he was managed to always position his body
and impossible to hate, and
I
think there's no question as to why he has been around forever and appreciated and loved by so many people. Because part of the equation is not just how talented you are and what you do, but
you know. So I was thinking. So what I was feeling, you know, the reason I took this film is when I heard that
I got to work with Joel Edgerton.
When I heard Joel Edgerton was doing this movie,
I said yes.
Well, first I said no, and then I found out that his face was going to be covered up. I was like, okay, if I don't have to stand next to those pretty eyes,
better looking than
yes,
him, then
exactly,
like, yeah.
exactly. That's my deal. No one more handsome. That's in my deal.
I thought that was in my contract, but I obviously next time I'll...
Well, apart from the prospect of working with a very handsome co-star, can you talk about the real-world symbolism of this very powerful story?
What I loved, so Joel's character is an orc, and the orcs represent the have-nots in this world, and the elves represent the haves. So, and the humans are in the middle of the social hierarchy. So I'm an African-American police officer, but racist against orcs. So I just thought that was such a fun thing to play with and to explore. And, you know, Joel did a brilliant job bringing humanity to this, you know, what could be a creature, what society views as an animal.
Two scenes where one of them is stripper and one of them a nurse. And this is great.
Thank you very much for chatting with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Dawn Olivieri. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined by the wonderful Mr. Joel Edgerton.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing, man?
I'm cold, but I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's good to have you here in London. How's it been walking down our black carpet at the European premiere for Bright, no less?
No, I love it. I love that we're here. I love that we're sharing this movie finally with you guys. It's a shame Will is here. That's a terrible human being.
3.5 hours in makeup each day to be turned into Jacoby. How was that? Because, I mean, the final look is incredible.
Yeah, well, actually, we got it down. You know, I was in the chair for maybe, by the end of it, 2.5. But yeah, still a slog. I mean, considering every day turning up to have chance to kind of learn something about myself as an actor when I could get rid of the vanity of, like, you know, hiding behind